Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News and Indian Perspective on All India Radio. This is Abhineet Shukla and with me is Renuka RS bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment and more. The headlines. India attracts 38% more foreign direct investment inflow in April 2021 compared to the same period in 2020. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says further liberalized guidelines of Department of Telecommunication for other service providers offer greater ease of business. New Delhi reaffirms its commitment towards eliminating educational inequalities at G20 Education Ministers' virtual meeting. All India Radio and DD News retain high levels of trust among people, says Reuters Journalism's report. Russia fires warning shots and drops bombs to deter a British Royal Navy destroyer, accusing the ship of entering its waters in Black Sea. And in sports, New Zealand resumes second innings after India were all out on 170 on last day of World Test Championship final at Southampton. And in Eurocup soccer, Sweden takes on Poland while Slovakia will clash with Spain tonight. Portugal faces France while Germany plays against Hungary. As the nation gears up for the free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years from today, we advise our listeners to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow the 4 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene, and get vaccinated. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. India has attracted total foreign direct investment (FDI) inflow of $6.24 billion during April 2021. This is 38% higher as compared to April 2020. Ministry of Commerce and Industry said measures taken by the government on the fronts of FDI policy reforms, investment facilitation and ease of doing business have resulted in increased FDI inflows into the country. During April 2021, FDI equity inflows amounting to $4.44 billion were reported in the country, which is an increase of 60% over the FDI equity inflow of April 2020. Mauritius is the top investing country with 24% of the FDI equity inflows, followed by Singapore with 21% and Japan with 11%. New Delhi has reaffirmed its commitment towards eliminating educational inequalities at G20 Education Ministers meeting held in Italy virtually. Union Minister of State for Education Sanjay Dhotre reiterated New Delhi's commitment towards reducing and eventually eliminating educational poverty, inequalities and early school leaving. He said the National Education Policy 2021 envisages equitable and inclusive education for all. It has a special focus on children and youth, especially girls, from socially and economically disadvantaged groups who are more at risk of being left behind. Mr. Dhotre said that the Indian education system has made steady progress towards bridging gender and social category gaps in all levels of education through multiple interventions. G20 education ministers also reiterated commitment to ensure continuity of quality education during the pandemic.
Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan has said that India and New Zealand have shared interests in a peaceful, cooperative and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. He was speaking at the inaugural ministerial session of India-New Zealand Business Summit on Wednesday. The minister said that stronger economic relations through more trade and investment between India and New Zealand is a key element of this vision. He said that India's growth story provides new opportunities for investment in infrastructure. He added that agriculture, dairy, forestry remain priorities on both sides. Mr. Muralidharan said that ties in emerging areas such as digital technology and civil and space cooperation can be explored. He expressed commitment to address market access issues. The Department of Telecommunication has further liberalized the guidelines for other service providers, OSPs. These entities are business process outsourcing BPO organizations giving voice-based services in India and abroad. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that in order to encourage our BPO industry, other service providers, guidelines that were liberalized in November 2020 have been simplified even further. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said that it offers greater ease of business and regulatory clarity. He said this will further reduce compliance burden and help our tech industry. Speaking to reporters, Information and Technology and Communications Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said there is now no distinction between domestic and international OSPs to bring in better synergies among businesses. Mr. Prasad informed that India's BPO industry is one of the largest in the world. The industry has a potential for double-digit growth reaching up to 3.9 lakh crores by 2025.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with participants of Toykathon 2021 on Thursday via video conferencing. Toykathon 2021 was launched on 5th of January 2021 to crowdsource innovative toys and games ideas. The Toykathon is aimed at boosting the toy industry in India to help it capture a wider share of the toy market. India's domestic market as well as the global toy market offers a huge opportunity to our manufacturing sector.
In a significant achievement, India's cumulative COVID vaccination coverage crossed 30 crore mark. The cumulative figure stands at 30 crore 9,69,538 as per the 7 p.m. provisional report today. The Union Health Ministry in a statement said that as the new phase of universalization of COVID-19 vaccination commenced from 21st of June, more than 58.34 lakh vaccine doses administered today. The ministry said more than 41,23,000 vaccine doses were administered as first dose and 68,903 vaccine doses given as the second dose in the age group of 18 to 44 years today. Cumulatively, over 7 crore persons across 37 states and union territories have received their first dose and a total of more than 14,98,000 have received their second dose since the start of Phase 3 of the vaccination drive. This is All India Radio giving you the world news.
The centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The child helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. Ayush COVID-19 Counselling helpline number is 14443 and MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
Public broadcasters, All India Radio and DD News along with print brands retain high levels of trust among consumers. This was revealed in the 10th edition of Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism's Digital News Report 2021. The study was conducted at the end of January and beginning of February this year. The report says in India print brands in general are more trusted than television brands. It said television brands are far more polarized and sensational in their coverage. In India, it added that 73% of respondents in the survey access news through smartphones, while social media access is high with 53% using WhatsApp and YouTube for news. The report also looked at the impact of coronavirus on news consumption and on the economic prospects for publishers. It looked at progress on new paid online business models, trust and misinformation, local news, impartiality and fairness in news coverage. Russia has said that its forces fired warning shots and dropped bombs to deter a British Royal Navy destroyer accusing the ship of entering its waters in the Black Sea on Wednesday. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, HMS Defender was given a preliminary warning that weapons would be used if the state borders of the Russian Federations were violated. It did not react to the warning. Meanwhile, Britain has denied Russian reports that its military fired warning shots at a UK destroyer in the Black Sea. Britain's Ministry of Defence said no warning shots had been fired.
The Supreme Court of the United States on Wednesday ruled in favor of a Pennsylvania teenager who sued after a profane social media post got her banished from her high school's cheerleading squad in a narrow decision in a closely watched free speech case. The justices, in a 8-1 ruling, decided that the punishment that Mehna Area School District officials doled out to the plaintiff, Brandy Levy, for her social media post violated her free speech rights. But the justices also declined to endorse a lower court decision that found that the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment guarantee of free speech prohibited public schools from regulating off-campus speech. The case involved the free speech rights of America's roughly 50 million public school students. Hong Kong's largest pro-democracy paper, Apple Daily, has announced its closure in a blow to media freedom in the city. The tabloid's offices were raided last week over allegations that several reports had breached a controversial national security law. Police detained the chief editor and 5 other executives, and company-linked assets were frozen. The publication had become a leading critique of the Hong Kong and Chinese leadership. The Apple Daily management said that in view of staff members' safety, it had decided to cease operation immediately after midnight, making Thursday's publication the final printed edition. UK Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab said the paper's closure was a chilling blow to freedom of expression in Hong Kong. A separate announcement by publisher Next Digital thanked the readers for their loyal support, as well as its journalists, staff and advertisers.
The COVID-19 situation in Bangladesh continued to be grim, with 85 deaths and 5,727 fresh corona-positive cases being reported from the country on Wednesday. The number of fresh corona infections in a day is the highest since April 13, when 6,028 cases were reported in Bangladesh. The number of deaths in a single day is also the highest since April 29, when 88 deaths were reported. In a worrying trend, the sample positivity rate also continued to go up in the country. According to the latest figures released by the Directorate General of Health Services, the sample positivity rate was reported to be 20.27% on Wednesday, which is the highest since April 17, when the country witnessed a positivity rate of 21.46%. In an effort to contain the spread of infection, the government announced a lockdown in Ghazipur, Narayanganj, Munshiganj, Rajbari, Gopalganj, Manikganj and Madripur districts till June 30. Movement of ferry services have been suspended in these districts. Train services to and from Dhaka have also been suspended till June end.
The Sensex and the Nifty today closed with losses of more than 0.5%. The domestic stocks fell even as the other Asian stocks were positive. The Sensex finished below the 52,500 mark, while the Nifty settled below 15,700 level. The rupee appreciated 9 paise against the US currency, and Brent crude prices rose above $75 per barrel. A report from the Business World.
The Sensex declined 283 points or 0.54% to end at 52,306. The Nifty also depreciated 86 points or 0.54% to settle at 14,687. In global equity markets, shares extended their recovery following the overnight gains in the US stocks. Hong Kong's Hang Seng surged 1.8% and South Korea's Kospi gained 0.4%. Singapore's Straits Times and China's Shanghai Composite Index both ended 0.3% up. Japan's Nikkei 225 ended flat. European shares were mixed in intraday trade. Crude oil prices gained on stronger demand and tighter supply. In intraday trade, Brent crude prices were trading around $75.60 per barrel. Back home, gold prices gained 70 rupees at multi-commodity exchange for August contracts amid gains in gold prices in the international markets. Gold was trading at 47,080 rupees per 10 gram. Silver prices also climbed 190 rupees to trade around 67,700 rupees per kilogram for July contracts when reports last came in. And the rupee appreciated 9 paisa to close at 74 rupees and 28 paisa against the US dollar. The domestic unit rose mainly due to the weakness in the US currency. Anubha Rohatgi, World News, All India Radio.
In Sports Roundup, All India Radio brings the latest news updates in national and international sports arena throughout the day. And with only 29 days to go for the beginning of India's Olympic quest at Tokyo Games, we focus specially on some of the promising Indian medal contenders. Today we profile India's women boxer MC Mary Kom. Mary Kom's name is synonymous with success and power. She is one of the best contenders for an Olympic medal.
मेरे पास सारे मेडल है, मैं क्यों सैटिस्फाइड नहीं हुआ? जो मिलना चाहती हूँ अभी तक मिला नहीं है.
MC Mary Kom started her boxing career by winning the national gold medal in 2001. Thereafter, her name became synonymous with winning in the ring. She is the only female boxer to win gold medals at the World Amateur Boxing Championship 6 times in 2002, 2005, 2006, 2008, 2010 and 2018. There are 5 gold medals to her credit at the Asian Boxing Championship. Mary Kom won a bronze medal at the London Olympics in 2012.
वुमेन बॉक्सिंग को ओलंपिक में इंक्लूड हुआ फर्स्ट टाइम 2012 वाला लंदन। हायर कैटेगरी में खेल के ब्रॉन्ज मिला, बहुत माइंड रखती हूँ।
Mary Kom also won gold medal at 2018 Commonwealth Games. Crowned with the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award and Padma Vibhushan, her enthusiasm in sports is worth appreciation. Now she is concentrating on winning the Tokyo Olympic medals.
मेरा इंडिया को प्राउड फील करना चाहती हूँ। ओलंपिक में देश के लिए एक बार गोल्ड देना चाहती हूँ।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has appreciated all those who have represented India in various Olympics over the years on the occasion of Olympic Day. In a series of tweets on Wednesday, Mr. Modi said he is proud of their contributions to sports and their efforts towards motivating other athletes. He wished the best to Indian contingents participating in Tokyo Olympics. Meanwhile, India's official Olympic theme song has been launched ahead of the Summer Games in July-August. Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Kiren Rijiju was present on the occasion. Playback singer Mohit Chauhan has composed and sung the song titled Lakshya Tera Samne Hai.
In the Eurocup football, Sweden are leading against Poland 1-0 at St. Petersburg, while Spain are leading against Slovakia 2-0, with at Seville in Group E fixtures when reports last came in. Final Group F matches will be played later tonight between Portugal and France at Budapest and Germany and Hungary at Munich. In cricket, India were all out at 170 in their second innings against New Zealand on last day of World Test Championship final at Southampton. Chasing the target of 139 runs, New Zealand were 111 for 2 in their second innings when reports last came in. India had scored 217 in their first innings, while New Zealand had scored 249 in their first innings.
The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting is organizing a year-long celebration across India and abroad to mark the 100th birth anniversary of the legendary filmmaker Satyajit Ray. A report.
Ray had an uncanny ability to bring on screen the mundane trials and tribulations of life through his cinematography. To achieve this effect, he relied heavily on the element of music and breathed life and vigor into the pictures on screen. Let us listen to a rare interview of the filmmaker from the archives of India's public broadcaster Doordarshan on this aspect of his filmmaking.
When you are doing a thing which is concerned with the contemporary urban society, you can't use conventional classical Indian music instruments like the sitar and so on. They just don't go with the theme. So I decided to use a combination of Western and Eastern instruments, and I had always been interested in Western music, and I was also familiar with the Western style of notation. So I decided, and since I was getting too many ideas of my own, it's not always very satisfactory to have to dictate great musicians like Vilayat Khan and Ali Akbar. And it threatened our friendship on a personal level, so I decided to do it on my own. And now more and more I use less and less music, I find, because I can use the mixing facilities have improved, and I can use a more creative soundtrack whereby one can use actual sounds almost as you use music to suggest moods and things like that. In a city story, you can use in a Calcutta story in John Arunno, actually the city itself provided the noise of traffic and that sort of thing, and it's provided the mood building soundtrack, you know.
দেখছো সোমনাথ? রাস্তার দুই দিকে খাড়াই উঠে গেছে সব বাড়ি। এইখানেই লক্ষ্মীর বাস।
24 days before his death, Ray was presented with an honorary Academy Award by Audrey Hepburn via video link. In his acceptance speech, he called it the best achievement of his movie-making career.
This year, the Academy Board of Governors has voted to award honorary Oscar to the great Indian filmmaker Satyajit Ray.
Well, it's been an extraordinary experience for me to be here tonight to receive this magnificent award, certainly the best achievement of my movie-making career.
Let us listen to vignettes from some of his most famous movies. Ray's first film, Pather Panchali, in 1955, won 11 international prizes, including the inaugural Best Human Document Award at the 1956 Cannes Film Festival. This film, along with Aparajito and Apur Sansar, The World of Apu, formed the Apu trilogy. Charulata is a film based upon the 1901 novella Nashtanir, or The Broken Nest, by Rabindranath. Of Awadh. The two best friends, Mirza Ali and Mir Ali, jeopardized their families and an empire due to their almost irrational obsession with the game of chess, coupled with extravagant lifestyles.
I'm not a poetry man, many soldiers are, but I'm curious to know what it sounds like. I rather like the sound of Hindustani. Are they long, these poems?
Not the ones I know, sir.
Go on, man, out with it.
Sir. सदमा न पहुंचे कोई मेरे जिस्म जार पर, आहिस्ता फूल डालना मेरे मजार पर, हर चंद खाक में था मगर ता फलक गया, धोखा है आसमान का मेरे गुबार पर.
Sonar Khela is a whodunit featuring Satyajit Ray's fictional super sleuth Feluda, based in the picturesque landscape of Jaisalmer.
ভালো লাগছে না, একটা নকশা চোখের সামনে ভেসে ভেসে উঠছে, আবার মিলিয়ে যাচ্ছে।
All India Radio joins in paying homage to Mr. Ray, who took Indian cinema to its zenith at the global stage. Ahead of the key all-party meeting with the central government tomorrow, Jammu and Kashmir's Gupkar Alliance has accepted the invitation from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Congress has confirmed its presence at the meeting. Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad will attend the meet. National Conference veteran Farooq Abdullah has said that they expect they will be able to make clear their position to the Prime Minister and Home Minister Amit Shah. People's Democratic Party Chief Mehbooba Mufti, who is in Delhi, has said that she hopes for a clear resolution to their concerns, saying that every issue can be solved through dialogue.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, one unidentified terrorist was gunned down in an encounter between terrorists and security forces that started this evening at Shirmal area of South Kashmir's Shopian district. Police said the gunfight started after a joint team of police, army and CRPF were fired upon while launching a joint cordon and search operation, CASO, following specific input about the presence of terrorists in the area. Prime Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Dharmendra Pradhan, today said the recent fuel price is the result of the previous UPA government, which had left oil bonds worth crores for repayment. Speaking to reporters in New Delhi, Mr. Pradhan has reiterated that the upward trajectory witnessed by petrol is due to global crude prices, and India imports 80% of the oil it consumes. He also said the present government has to repay the oil bonds along with its interest, leading to an increase in petrol rates. Mr. Pradhan cited many economists raising point towards the oil bond for the reason behind high fuel prices.
Union Cabinet on Wednesday approved allocation of additional food grain under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana Phase 4 for another period of 5 months from July to November. Under 5 kg food grains per person per month free of cost will be given to the beneficiaries covered under National Food Security Act, including those covered under direct benefit transfer between July to November this year. The sanction of the additional food grain free of cost to a maximum of 81.35 crore individuals will entail an estimated financial implication of up to 67,266 crore rupees. Central government is bearing the entire expenditure towards this scheme without any contribution by states and UTs. The allocation in terms of wheat or rice will be decided by the Department of Food and Public Distribution. This additional free of cost allocation of food grains will be over and above the regular monthly food grains allocated for beneficiaries covered under the NFSA. On a review of the continuing COVID-19 situation in the country and to help the poor and the needy during the crisis, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his address to the nation on 7th of June 2021 announced the extension of the PMJKAY scheme for a further period of 5 months till Diwali in November 2021. Union Cabinet also approved an agreement between India and St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the exchange of information and assistance in collection with respect to taxes. The agreement mainly proposes to facilitate exchange of information between the two countries and to provide assistance to each other in collection of tax claims. A quick look at the headlines once again. India attracts 38% more foreign direct investment inflow in April 2021 compared to the same period in 2020. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says further liberalized guidelines of Department of Telecommunication for other service providers offers greater ease of business. New Delhi reaffirms its commitment towards eliminating educational inequalities at G20 Educational Ministers virtual meeting. All India Radio and DD News retain high levels of trust among people, says Reuters journalism's report. Russia fires warning shots and drops bombs to deter a British Royal Navy destroyer, accusing the ship of entering its waters in Black Sea. In sports, New Zealand resumes second innings after India were all out at 170 on last day of World Test Championship final at Southampton. And in Eurocup soccer, Sweden takes on Poland while Slovakia will clash with Spain tonight. Portugal faces France while Germany plays against Hungary. India is celebrating the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end, let us listen to his favorite bhajan Vaishno Jan by artists from Sudan. And with that, we end this bulletin. We will be back at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.